Went
Okay,
back in
yeah, we're
time.
back. What happened was apparently my router did a cool thing where it decided that, yeah, no, you're still connected to the router, but we're not going to give you any internet.
Oh,
So,
very cool.
yeah, no.
That
So
makes
I
sense.
okay, well, let me turn the router off, turn it back on. Okay, it's on. All right, I'm connected to the router, but no internet. It's like, okay, well, it must be something with the modem then. So I turn the modem off, turn that back on, and same thing. So I'm like, well, what the fuck? So okay, what if I just go direct Ethernet straight by just take the router out of the equation and I go straight run Ethernet cable to my laptop from the modem and that works? I'm like, well, god damn it. So something's fucked with the modem, or not the modem, the router. So I guess it decided to cut out right after I sent the LeBron James link.
Yeah, that was it.
That was it.
Decided you had enough after that.
Yeah, quite enough.
Too
Did you
much internet.
get what was previously uploaded, or is that all gone?
I have something. I don't know what it is. It's mixing right now, and we'll make lemonade out of that.
Okay, cool. Well, that's great. I thought you just would have lost it, but if you have something fantastic,
It gave me some. Yeah, it gave me some error message. So there's going to be an abrupt cut in this thing. So
cool. Well,
second time in 3 weeks we've had technical problems.
all right.
Good
Well,
times.
I guess we can just kind of get off our. Kind of
Yeah, let's
continue
get
where we
off.
Yeah.
Kind of like your internet. Anyways,
Hey,
Are there any like final things you want to say about Zymox here, Jahi? Just like things we didn't quite get to, or stuff that you thought we could have paid a little bit more attention to.
I mean, shit. There's like a hour's worth. But my biggest thing is with it's just a very big disappointment to have a company that was almost at the top of the percussion world and in a way sort of still is that they have these great products that everybody wants, but they have the service that nobody wants. And it's just a very intriguing phenomenon to say the least of like if Under Armour had bad service, like that would just be it'd be crazy, it'd be mind blowing. So for one of the leading products in our arena to just be trash at getting their stuff out and treating their customers, it's mind blowing.
Yeah, what you're saying there, the phenomenon, it does seem like it's like this really obscure and unique situation because they're like you're saying with the comparison to Under Armour, there are obviously tons of other manufacturers out there and they produce good products, but for some reason it's what you're saying. Nobody's really stepping up to take advantage of, or at least it seems to me there very well could be people that are trying to take advantage of what's going on there. But it seems like Zymox has a stranglehold no matter what. Even though what we were talking about while Sam was away was the two dudes who now run the BYOS kind of like. I don't want to really call it like a movement because it's more of like a company now. Just produce their own stuff. Like those two dudes, used to be the faces almost of this company, Zymox, with their videos that they put out that kind of launched them into popularity. And those two dudes obviously, don't really associate with the company anymore. And now it's, where do you go from there? Or it seems like that would be the impetus to have another company step in and do something about that, or try to take advantage of the situation. But it doesn't really seem like that's kind of happened yet.
No. It just seems like everybody's just kind of complacent. Like, oh, this pad sells, this many units every year, and it's good. We're making a profit, so let's just keep it up. No one's like trying to be the number one pad product pusher. Everyone's just kind of skating by.
Right. And like we were talking about before too, while Sam was gone, it really seems like Zymox is, for their like total like total lack of awareness on their social media channels, they still seem like the only company that's consistently going to competitions and, you know, DCI events, WGI events, and having people play on their products that, like, what we were talking about before, you know, we might not necessarily like look at these things and it's like, you know, like, why the fuck do I want that? But I mean, if you get a group of kids or, you know, whoever, young adults who are playing on these products and they're obviously like really good at what they do, they're some of the best in the world. I mean, it'll make people buy it. Certainly, kids that are in high school, you know, trying to come up, maybe like get their first practice pads. They see, you know, Chino Hills playing on this, or they see, you know, Blue Knights playing on this pad. It's like, yeah, I don't know. I'm going with that one probably, rather than like some other company that's going to give you the generic product demo. You know, it's like, hi, I'm so and so with Vic Firth. You know, look at this. You can play a solid Radamacue on this pad. Look at that. Like, yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna go with this other company.
Yeah, like even from like an outsider, like let's say it's a parent that doesn't know anything about band, but like their son or daughter is going to the drum line, and they type in practice pad, and they're gonna see like the real feel, just straight up gray canvas, or they'll see like the slim pad, the straight up yellow canvas, and then they'll see these lasers and lights and rims and all this stuff on Zymox. That's going to be more appetizing to the eye, and to a parent that doesn't know anything about, you know, the service that they give. Like, they're not going to know, oh, this is going to take 6 months. They're just going to say, oh, this is cool for my son or daughter. And that's like a ton of, not a ton, but there's a decent amount of complaints on the Better Business Bureau and just online of parents buying pads for their kids hoping it would arrive for Christmas. Like, they bought it like months before and it doesn't come because of Zymox being Zymox. And, you know, had they known, oh, I could have just gotten a slim pad for my kid and they would have been perfectly fine, they probably would have done so. But just the way it's marketed is like, oh, this is cool, this is exciting, this is hip. It's misleading.
Yeah, and it really doesn't seem like any other company, like you're saying, is doing anything else like that. So, I mean, it's hard to compete when there's all these other companies out there, but none of them are doing anything to, I mean, challenge the marketing tactics that Zymox is using. So, in a way, it is kind of a monopoly, but like what you're also saying is it's not because there isn't anybody to compete, it's just complacency in the market.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So in other words, this market's ripe for some fresh ideas and some fresh customer service. I agree. It seemed like it'd be really easy for a large company that's already in the market to capitalize and, I don't know how to say, steal some of these ideas or some of these innovations that they've brought, but take those and run with them and just have back them with a better product delivery. Right. Customer service, and then it would be, I don't know. It would seem like they would put Zymox get them out of the market pretty quick, and then really solidify whoever that company would be as the leader in the industry.
Yeah, for sure. I just thought of an idea as we were just talking. Like, if I don't know how it would work out, but like let's say you get a slim pad, but you can print off like let's say Carolina Crowns, like their drum slips from this year, throw that pattern on a pad and have it be like the Crown pad, give X however percentage to Crown itself for the drum slips. Or like you want the Blue Devils, their drum slips from this year on your pad, sell it like that. I think that could be.
Yeah, you can partner up with On2.
Yeah, or
you want the
something.
Tungeline pad? Here you go. You want your pad to say "Get Loud, Lambo"? We can do that.
Get loud, Lambo.
No, actually, that's a cool idea. I mean, it's an extension of. I mean, they're already selling merch that has T-shirts and whatever that have
right.
The show branding on it. Just take that as a natural extension. Yeah, put that on your pad. That'd be cool. I like that idea a lot.
Copyright. We claim it before Zymox does it.
Put that TM in a circle right now.
Yeah, but before they just go ahead and just do that all willy nilly without talking to anybody, like, yep, we're just gonna slap that on there.
You're just gonna do it.
Very
Image rights don't
interesting.
matter.
Dude, their asses would do like some sort of ass deal. Be like, buy one world class drum pad and get an open class free.
And get an open class 12-inch pad.
For
Boy, what a
free.
bundle! You can get Colts and Colt cadets.
The Midwest deal. Yo,
Yeah, corn-fed combo.
how much do you like Iowa? Use our Colts package.
Give you a free table pad with Pioneer and
Yeah,
blazing
you say
across
that
it.
Did you get a table pad, Jahi? Did you say that before?
I did.
What do you play on that a lot?
Yeah, do you use it for poker games?
No, well, I didn't get that big of one. I got like the smallest option for a table pad because that's what was with the deal at the time. It was like 20, 22 inches somewhere in there. But when I first got it, like I was playing on it a lot, and all it is, honestly, is like it's a circle of wood, and the laminate, I kid you not, is like that fucking mouse pad spongy material, and then there's like a laminate over that, and that's what it is.
Nice.
How tall is the table?
Uh, it's just a round piece. It's just like the top piece. It's not even like the
Oh, it doesn't
stand
come
or
with a
anything.
base or legs.
So you have
or
to like
anything?
put it on a real table.
Yeah, you have to put it on something. It's a disc,
Oh,
is what it is. It's a disc.
Oh, it's just a really big disc.
Yes.
You can put it on the floor.
It's 22. It's an extra 8. It's a bass drum.
Yeah, it's like a thick ass Chicago pizza. Yeah,
Oh, that's
yeah,
pretty
it's just a big pad, is all it is, and you can only use one side of. I mean, I guess you could use the other side, but it's just straight up wood.
Yeah, not designed to be played on.
No.
Use my deadbeats. Yeah, well, looking at some of these table pads, I mean, it's fucking wild. You can get a 44-inch table pad, and yeah, they have fucking
Yeah.
cup holders, and like this whole imagery is just really hilarious to me. Like a bunch of fucking high schoolers sitting around with their Mountain Dew Game Fuel playing through their high school cadence, like with their Vic Firth 2Bs or whatever. Like this whole thing just seems really funny to me. And then they doubled down on that fucking aspect of it, and yeah, made a fucking gaming table, and they have poker chips.
Like, dude, like to get a collection of people that love to play the same exact poker game and drum at the same time, so rare.
It's
Yeah,
very
what is that?
niche.
That's a very narrow Venn diagram, I think.
Yeah, like who fucking came up with this? Like I can maybe I don't know. I'm still gonna shit on you for adding fucking cup holders to your practice pad. That seems egregious. But then you take it a step further and yeah, try to branch out into the world of gambling here. And it's like, nope. This is many lanes outside of your lane in particular. This is who the fuck's gonna buy this? Like, there's no way.
I bet you they sold. Well, if they even made the goddamn thing, I bet you no one's bought it.
That'd be so funny. It's just a plant product. Like, we don't make this. We just put this on our fucking website and hope that somebody's like, "Oh, this is pretty cool. This company really does it all, huh?"
Maybe the guys will want to pick up the sticks again.
Yeah, someone they get an order for. They're just like have this up here, and they're just praying they don't get an order for one of these. Like, oh,
Like,
shit,
God damn
someone
it.
actually bought one. God damn it! Now we gotta figure out.
Yeah, it's some fucking dumbass dad who's just like, "Oh, I have been talking to Bill and the buddies about getting the poker squad back together, playing the man cave."
And the man in the den.
Like the regular 44-inch table. I mean I guess I could squint my eyes and see how like a band, like a high school band, would buy one and just set it up in the band room and
Yeah.
for their kids to pat on. But like yeah, you can't do that with the gaming table. That'd probably be
Ridiculous.
irresponsible to
So
put
like
that in
even
high
with
school.
the 24, you can fit like 5 people play like doing tenor stuff, like just one match grip, one drum stuff, or you can easily fit like four people on the pad if it's a snare line on the 22. So to imagine 20 more inches for a goddamn gaming table is just unbelievable.
44 inches is huge, man. Is like I was measuring out my room because I'm building a new desk for it, and I think the size of my desk that I'm sitting at right now is like it's like 45 inches long. And so thinking about like
Jeez.
like a practice pad that's a big ass circle all the way across. It's like yeah, you could fit like an entire like little high school like drum line
Easily.
on one of these things probably. Um, yeah. Well, if we don't have anything else to talk about with Zymox, I do want to say, Jahi, been having a lot of fun with Lombardi here.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't looked at the updated part because Patrick
Uh,
It,
threw the wrong part on there, but that was really driving me up a fucking wall when I'm like, man, these rounds ain't right.
yeah,
yeah.
so like Connor messaged me. I was like on my way to play basketball, but Connor messaged me and he was like asking questions and I was like, I know I went back and like made sure this wasn't this and you know, checked it out. And then like it was bothering me. I played basketball and then I was done. I checked my phone right away. And Connor had some more questions, and I was like, I'll talk to Wes and whatnot. And then I looked at the end, and I was like, this shit old as hell.
Oh,
That was like our pre we had like a little session with Patrick. We're like, this is what we've put together so far. And then he made some suggestions, and so that was like right before that, before we even changed it. So the new
woof.
one should be up there at some point. I personally can see it on my Google Drive. I don't know why, but
Yeah, I'm looking at it
So
right now, and I think
Wes uploaded something on Sunday, last Sunday. He uploaded
okay.
a new one. So it is the new one should be up there. Hopefully that's what the new one is because he uploaded it himself. It was really funny because so they started like a Tunderline admin group chat and Wes. So it must have been after he talked to you. He just messages everybody and goes, "Hi everyone, I'm really sorry, but Patrick uploaded an outdated version of Lombardi." So we'll fix that. And so Patrick doesn't respond to fucking anything in any sort of reasonable time, but he responded to that particular question in like less than
Uh-oh.
a minute and was like
Uh-oh.
he was like, "Hi Wes, is the one up there not correct?" And Wes goes, "No, it's not. I sent you an email with the right one." And so then from there, like 6 hours go by, and I'm kind of waiting around because I'm like, is he gonna upload it today? Like I was like, was he gonna do it today? And so then 6 hours pass, and Wes just uploads it himself.
Of course.
And so it was like, all right, so that's what happened there. And then Alex was so we had a Tunderline admin meeting last Thursday, so it was like around the time that I was like messaging you about this whole thing, and so we had a meeting, and like that's when Patrick was like, we're gonna use Lombardi as the audition tune, and I'm gonna send it out to everybody, and send an email out with everybody that's just like with the instructions for what I want to do. I just want to make sure that everything is like good to go. And like great, fantastic. And like immediately after the meeting was done, Patrick's like, I've uploaded the music, feel free to share it with whoever that's interested in joining the group. And I was like, okay. So I mean, I just sent it to Sam and I mentioned it to Josh when we were talking to him on the podcast, but that's it. And then Sam and I were looking at it like that day that I messaged you, and it was like, what is this? And because we were just messaging each other, we were like, man, it's gonna be so nice to play music written by somebody that like plays the tenors. Like, there's a ton of shit in Patrick's music where it's like we kind of just like roll our eyes, and it's like, I don't know, we can play this, that's for sure a rhythm, but like it doesn't really like flow with the
It's
hands.
awkward. Right.
Yeah, and so it's like this will be so refreshing to have this music, and then we're looking at it, and I think Sam messaged me, was like, dude, what are the stickings for this? Like this whole like last half, the fucking music. And it's like, I don't know, man. Like it says alternate, but like clearly you can't in some of these things, or it's really weird. And so then, yeah, that's how we got to where we were. And I don't know. To this day, obviously, like Patrick hasn't sent anything out about this, so I don't know. We might audition for the group. We might not.
Does like everybody know this sucks? I only know this is up here because you told me about it.
I'm in a holding pattern with Patrick. I sent him an email the day after we had our meeting, and I was like, "Hey, man, I just want to let you know that I set up an audition form so that you didn't have to do that, so that it uploads everybody's like." You take a video and attach it to the Google form, you upload it to it, and then that video file automatically generates in a spreadsheet in our admin only folder, and I have it sorted by instrument like on the Google form, so we should be able to like sort through all the submissions fairly quickly and dole them out to section leaders. Just like let me know when you want to send an email out to everybody about that. And he hasn't responded to that, and that was obviously like over a week ago now. So yeah, so I don't know. We might. It's not like a super big deal, obviously, because like what you were saying, it's like, man, maybe we just like won't have an NFL season. So this all like Patrick. So that was another thing is Patrick was like, yeah. So we have 4 new pieces this year, and I was like, oh boy, that's gonna be great.
Spoiler alert! I have another one that I wrote. Wes helped me with the bass part, but I have another little ditty that I wrote.
Yeah, he mentioned you. He said so. He was like Jahi and Wes have one. Jahi wrote his own. Patrick has one, and Calvin has one.
Yeah, the one Calvin talked about for a while.
Yeah, and so Patrick straight up said that he hadn't looked at Calvin's at all, even though I know that I'm on a thread with him and Ben that Calvin sent to all of us and was like, hey, can you guys please look at this and like see if I'm going in the right direction, or leave me any comments. And I think I commented on it and it was like, yeah, this is awesome, man, like maybe do this, or be cognizant of the fact that like this piece is like a little long at this point. Stuff like that. And I remember Patrick responded and was like, sounds good, I'll take a look at this soon. And then in our meeting, Patrick was like, I'm going to be honest, I've never looked at Calvin's piece. And it's like, all right, well, maybe I don't know, maybe do that, maybe don't.
That would be helpful if we're going to play it.
Yeah. But it was very interesting to hear, like, we're gonna do 4 new pieces, and it was a big thing in the meeting where it was like, I already told Sam about this in the last when we were talking about this. Like it was a big talking point of like, what are we gonna do with the book? Are we gonna slim it down, or are we gonna have some sort of like playlist that we're gonna program for our performances? Like, what are we gonna do about this? And we must have talked about this for like 30 minutes, and there was like a lot of good stuff brought up where it's like, yeah, I don't know, like a lot of people have been in the group for like a number of years, so like the egregious like amount of material we have isn't really a big of it, like it's not a huge deal even if we add 4 new pieces, because it's like everybody's just played these pieces ad nauseum, so like some of these people could play this probably like literally blacked out. And so
I could. I've had only 1 full season.
Yeah. And so, right, like, yeah, people like you and Matt who joined last year, like a lot of talented people could probably like do that kind of shit. And so, but Alex is like, a lot of people who are joining like might look at this book and be like, holy fuck.
Yeah.
Like, and Sam brought up a point like when we talked about this too, where he was like, man, yeah, people are going to have to basically like redshirt their first year almost, because like their performances are just going to be total dog shit, because like like there's no way you're going to get any better, because you're only going to play some of these pieces like once a month with like the like amount of times that we're going to be able to hit all this material. And so we like talked about all these things for like 30 minutes, and then at the end of it Patrick was like, all right, sounds good, I'll think about all these things. And so we just like talked about it in like a Roman forum and just didn't come to any sort of decision about what we're gonna do. And so it's like, oh, okay, well, why don't we just do that?
Excellent. Goodbye. What?
Yeah, right, exactly. It's like, fantastic. Thank you for your input. Signing
Yeah.
off.
Did you?
Those
you
are all
ask
good
for-
points.
You know what we should have done? You should have done. Ask Patrick if he could go to Candy and ask for a raise again.
Jesus.
Well, that fucking shit, man.
In
That
this economy.
with this hiring freeze, Patrick.
Well, since you're not hiring anybody, can we take some of that budget and move it around a little
Yeah,
bit?
you know. Give us a little extra tender.
Yeah, I
Extra
heard about
chicken
these
tender?
emergency funds that these professional sports leagues have.
I read
I'm
Packers
well
got
aware.
380 mil in the bank.
Yeah, I'm well
Jeez.
aware.
I know. Trust me, I know.
Man, that was when that happened. That was one of the biggest Tundra Line Christmas surprises to me, that we were like actually going to get paid at like a rate that was probably acceptable. I remember Tommy Johnson, I think, or I don't know who it was. I think it was Tommy. Somebody figured out it was. I think maybe it was. I don't remember if it was the Canton trip or not. But somebody was like, with the hourly rate from like a game day, like we're definitely getting paid like under minimum wage for this job. And I think like that really came out I think it did. It like came more to the forefront on the Canton trip. Yeah, because it was like, we'll just pay you a game day wage for these days. And it's like, wait a minute, we're like literally playing for like 10 hours a day.
Jesus.
And it's like that was a
Jahi,
big.
have you ever heard the story of the Canton trip and its full
I
glory?
have multiple times from Wes, Ricky.
Wes was the best part of the Canton trip by far. Wes, as a personality figure, was easily the redeeming quality. Him,
Closest thing to it.
him, and Brandon fixing the bus were like the two greatest things to happen in Canton, Ohio.
Jesus.
Easily.
Followed in a close third by you finding a bullet.
Finding a bullet in the what fucking
Fazoli's parking lot.
Yeah, the Fazoli's parking lot is a bullet.
Fazoli's.
Is a fucking bullet. It's like, what is this place? That trip was just like, I don't know. We don't necessarily need to go over exactly what happened there, but it was just like this terrible fucking trip, this road trip to Canton, Ohio. There's nothing there. There's nothing in Canton, Ohio except for the Pro Football Hall of Fame and the Blue Coats. And
There you go.
And it's like, it's like, what the hell is even here? Like, I don't even know what's in Canton. And so the whole trip, I remember it was just like Wes, like saying like stupid, inappropriate shit, like almost all of the time. And like, that was like that for like 3 days. And I remember, so we didn't even know what rate we were getting paid for this whole trip. Patrick like conveniently forgot to figure that out with Packers personnel. And like,
wow, you guys got duped.
Yeah, and so then it came out, it was like, we're just going to pay you like the game day rate. Like after we were all done with this gig, like home and everything, like we got done with the gig, I remember, and it was still up in the air. Like, are we even getting paid to like do this? Like, are we even getting compensated? And so it came out that we were like, we're going to pay you game day rate for this. And I remember
lazy.
It was terrible. It was pretty bad. And Wes, for one, was like, he was upset the whole trip, but he was especially upset after this. And I won't forget. Oh, man. All right. Well, we'll go ahead and just tell you what he said about this rate. I remember, so this is when I played bass drum, and I think it was only to Bassline that he said this to. I don't think this was in the open forum. He found it out, and we were in sectionals, I think, and he was like, God damn it. He's like, these fucking dudes, he's like, these guys are paying us like a bunch of fucking honkies to some 1920s musicians in a goddamn nightclub.
That's so specific.
Yeah, he was but he was straight-faced about it. He was like not laughing at all. He's very upset. And he was
Wes is such a funny dude, man.
Yeah, he's hilarious. Uh, yeah. So I mean, yeah, there was a ton of bullshit that happened on that trip, but Wes was a great part of it. Um, and I think that'll let us segue into an interesting arena here. We were talking earlier about whether or not Aaron Rodgers is elite still.
Who's that again?
Oh
Is
my
that
god.
that's
Oh
the wide
my
receiver?
god. Fuck off.
That's my quarterback.
That's my
Yeah.
quarterback.
All
That's
right.
my
Well,
quarterback.
I'll let Jahi explain his part of it, just because I mean, I'm super biased in this right now, and I think that you should just explain what your argument is to Sam right now.
Okay, so small bit of backstory. I was born in Wisconsin, but then I moved to Minnesota. What does that mean? I was a Vikings fan for a decent amount of my life, and I didn't become a Packers fan until I was on the Tundra line. That being said, I low key grew up hating Aaron Rodgers. Also being said, we still respected him because he was amazing and he would always dog us out season after season. So, what Connor brought up is Aaron Rodgers. What's the question? Is he an elite quarterback? I
Yeah.
said, is he or was he? Because you're only as good as your last game. And I was very disappointed with our last game. Like just watching it, he just looked old. Now, granted, that was the end of the season, but like some of his decisions and some of his passes were just like, dude, are you tired? Like, did you go out last night? And it just kind of made me wonder, like, can he still do this? And so to make sure I wasn't crazy, I went up and I looked up a bunch of his highlights and I looked up a lot of his stats, and he had a good season. You know,
Yeah.
he's not looking super rusty or anything. He had like 26 touchdowns and 4 interceptions, which is like way better than what my old ass could do, and I'm not even old. But I don't know. It's just that last string of games, like just to see them in person was just like 2010 was a long time ago, my guy. I don't know if you can do it anymore. That was my position, but I will take back my was comments. But yeah, he's still got a little in the tank left.
Well, I guess my opening question here is like, what do you define as elite? Like, is it a certain like characteristic, or is it like this? So many like top quarterbacks fall into the category of elite, like the top five, or like what do you determine as elite?
For me, it's a mix of obviously stats because you can look at what's his name, Jameis Winston, his stats, be like, oh, 33 touchdowns, oh, that's dope, and then add that he had 30 interceptions. It's like I don't know, like where does that fall? But for me, it's a mix of stats and a mix of like seeing them play in general. Because you can have like 7 different reads or 4 different reads, and it just if you're intuitive on the field as a quarterback, you're throwing through tight windows, you're making things happen out of nothing. To me, that makes you elite. Like someone like trash ass Baker Mayfield
Oh,
in trash ass Ohio. Um, it's like you can look at him and tell like he's struggling. I don't know if it's your offensive line, but yeah, it's just a mix for me being like a huge football head, but it's stats and how they actually play the game. Like if you have a bomb ass offensive line and you're just in the pocket waiting for your receivers to get open, and it's like yeah you can pass, but what are you doing when you're in danger? What are you doing when you have to go through all of your checkdowns and throw to certain people?
yeah. The thing about Aaron Rodgers that I appreciate the most about his game, and you mentioned that 4 interceptions. It's just that taking care of the football, and I absolutely loathe the argument people were making, that this narrative that kind of popped up in the last year or two. That's well, actually, throwing all those not throwing interceptions is bad because it doesn't mean he's taking chances down the field. That's such a
Oh my
trash take.
goodness.
That is a trash take. Taking care of the football is like objective number one, and then everything beyond that's gravy. Completing passes, touchdowns, yards, whatever. But not turning the football over is like, yeah, objective number one is an offense, and I think, I don't know what the numbers are, but if you look up whatever, if you win the turnover battle or the turnover, the net ratio for a game, you're some percentage much more likely to win that game. It only gets worse the more you turn the ball over, or better the other way, if you don't turn the ball over, you're forcing turnovers with your defense. So taking care of the football is the thing he does is absolutely, I think he's still elite at. If nothing else, if he can't do anything else, if he's just taking care of the ball, that'll keep you in a lot of games at the very least. And he also said making something out of nothing, and yeah, I don't know, some of those. This is beat a dead horse, but outside of Devontae Adams, there's not a whole lot to be excited about.
No,
from the
all.
receiving core, when you're taking undrafted, your number 2 receiver is the Lizard King, an undrafted guy. So
hell yeah. Put some respect on Alan Lazard.
He's a reptilian.
Yeah, it's goddamn Animorph. Anyway, yeah. I mean, I think that there is some merit to, possibly Aaron Rodgers is getting certainly past the apex of his career, and there's a lot of people and a lot of Packers fans that'll put on the blinders and say, oh, it's because his supporting cast is like total garbage outside of Devontae, or the new coaching scheme isn't really doing him any favors, or all these various reasons. But I think you're right. I think that there's certainly visible signs of Aaron Rodgers' decline, and I certainly think that people in the front office may have seen those exact same things, which led them obviously to drafting a quarterback in this last draft, which we all saw and have talked about pretty extensively at this point. So, I think that there's definitely a sound argument to be made there that there's possibly signs that this dude isn't gonna maybe, like what you're saying, where maybe he's not elite anymore in the respect that he can't single-handedly carry this team on his back and force them to an NFC championship game. Like, maybe he's not capable of doing that anymore. Like we kind of saw in some of those seasons, like 2015. I don't think that they necessarily had a superb cast there, but he just went out of his mind on some of those, like the Hail Mary against Detroit, and then the Hail Mary to force overtime against Arizona.
Yeah,
that's a game where you're dragging your top 2 receivers in that Arizona game specifically are Jared Abbrederis and Jeff Janis, and you're dragging them, kicking and screaming in the playoffs to just barely be able to get in the playoffs still, or into overtime in that game.
Right.
Still think they should have gone for 2 there.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think that there's definitely merit there, but yeah. I don't know. At this point, it's just I don't think I'd give up Aaron Rodgers for a whole lot of other people on the market right now.
I'll
looking at the
Patrick
quarterbacks.
Mahomes.
Yeah, Lamar.
Okay.
Russell.
Who else?
Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
That's about it, probably.
Pretty much.
Like Drew Brees, yeah, maybe, but he's not any younger.
Right at that point, right?
That dude's old, man. Drew Brees knows Moses. I'm pretty sure. He was there when he held up the 10 Commandments.
Yeah, he was over his shoulder. He was seeing the burning bush, too.
That's why he's so good. He just has that knowledge, that holy knowledge.
Yeah, that fucking Doctor Strange seen 1,000 timelines bullshit. I've seen it all.
I've seen it all.
Yeah.
My hope is that they bring Love in, and Aaron can sort of mentor him into the position of taking over for him. I don't think it would happen this season and possibly not next season. But I think it would be nice if they can at least groom him, being that they picked him, uh, to have one of the smartest dudes that has played quarterback in a long time to help him out. But even Aaron Rodgers, right before the draft, he's like, "I hope we get a skill player," which I found to be very interesting. And then they
It
drafted
was
Love.
certainly ironic.
Maybe
Well,
he
he
was in
just-
on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw today,
Yeah.
but Aaron Rodgers finally spoke about the pick.
Yeah, I saw the clips from the. I tuned in actually for a minute, but I must have come in right. I don't know if you guys saw this, but there are a bunch of lowlights of people who like don't understand how to use like video conferencing still. So like all these fucking people who aren't like muting their mics and shit. And,
Jesus.
which, okay, well, I'm going to turn the clock back real quick out of this conversation, go back to Tundra Line, because that's something I got to tell Jahi. So in this fucking meeting, so we go in and everybody's set up on a goddamn computer except Ben, who's on his phone, and also he's sitting behind a drum kit. And so it's like, whatever, I don't know, dude's quirky for sure, so this doesn't really matter or impact anything. However, as the meeting went on, Ben started to like Patrick is talking and Ben is like clicking some drumsticks, and it's like audible. It's audible, but it's kind of like underneath a little bit, so it's like, I notice you're doing that and you're not muting yourself, but like whatever. And then it kind of escalates, and Ben starts like playing with the pedals on his drum set. So you can hear like the kick drum and the hi-hat, and like you can hear this stuff kinda. It's like background noise still at this point. And then I don't know when it was, but at some fucking point in the meeting, so he was on a phone, right? And he didn't have it like set up, so his screen is like moving around too. And so at some point amidst all of this, Ben just like straight up started, he like picked up a drum key and started smacking a tom and tuning it. And like it's like Alex is finally like, Ben, you have to mute yourself, man. Like it was like
That's
it was
hilarious.
it was like, oh my god.
Doom,
Like
doom, doom, doom,
Yeah,
doom, doom, doom.
that's what it was. It was like bonk 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 bonk. And so anyway, this is happening sort of in like this Aaron Rodgers conference, this web conference. Like somebody's phone was just going off in like I tuned in and it was like there's just beeping, and I heard somebody goes, "You have to mute yourself."
Bro.
And so I tuned in for that and it was like, oh yikes. I'm just going to go ahead and not listen to this hour-long fiasco. But
Alright, I'm gonna head out.
yeah, pretty much. And so, yeah, there's a lot of good stuff in there. I mean, a lot of, like, nothing really noteworthy. All these people who were posting these headlines of Aaron pretty much saying, yeah, I don't know, Jordan Love didn't choose to be drafted by the Green Bay Packers. So I certainly don't think that it's, I owe it to him to be an asshole to him. I'm going to treat him like a person, and, we're going to hopefully be able to work together efficiently. And it was like the most non-headline headline ever, but like still something that's like all over Reddit and like all these things. It's like Aaron Rodgers planning to treat Jordan Love as a person? Question mark?
Crazy.
Yeah. all
After
these
much deliberation, yeah, we're gonna treat him like a person.
yeah. Right. And so all these things, I think the biggest one to come out of it was Aaron, like, he pretty much came out and said, I'd like to play the rest of my career in Green Bay, but I understand that it certainly doesn't seem like more realistic to plan on doing that with the, Jordan Love draft pick. Or it's less realistic that it'll happen, with all things considered.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, I don't know. That's
Yeah,
true.
man, you never know. Like they could throw Jordan Love in, and he could be a bust, and we'll have to bring Aaron back, and maybe trade Love out for somebody. Like you never know. Like
What
Johnny,
they gotta do is they gotta get him on the field, get him some game reps. I want to see them
Exactly.
both on the field at the same time. Run a little 2 quarterback system. That's
2 quarterback system, classic. Just have 2 completely separate offenses at the exact same time.
maybe do a little XFL double pass.
We'll see, man. I'm excited to see how he does. I watched a lot of tape on Jordan Love like right after because I was like, I don't know who the hell this is, and
What's a scouting report say about him? What did the tape tell you?
he's not bad. He has a lot of potential. He's super athletic. One of the more athletic people.
Can he dunk?
Probably, dude looks big as hell. Pretty sure most of the dudes in the NFL can dunk, except for sorry ass Bakhtiari. Can I make a personal message real quick?
Yeah.
Don't come to the Bucks games chugging beer if you're not gonna do your job on Sunday, sir.
Oof.
And change your number. You can't be 69 anymore. Change your number. Until we win more games than we did last year, you gotta change it, bro. And cut your hair. You look like a fat Roman Reigns.
You see, he does cut his hair on like he has like an undercut.
Yeah, I was like, I got so sick of seeing him at Bucks games, and then the next day going to Lambeau, and I'm just like, dog, change your number, bro. That's not even cool anymore. Change your number, sir.
He's gonna change his number to 420.
420.
Number 420, left tackle, David Bakhtiari.
Blaze up, man. That's gonna be his graphic on the screen. He's like, "Come on, guys, blaze up, blaze up."
Yeah, as he gives like a half-hearted, "Hey, it's third down,
dude."
Let's go.
That's what we were talking about earlier. Actually, is
me.
if there's no fans in the stands and there's like still those graphics, I think that would be the best.
Well, no, they got to bring back the old Oneida Eagle.
Oh god,
there was an eagle.
Oh shit, you weren't here for the eagle sound?
No.
Oh fuck, man, that was a great time to be in Tundra Line. So, Sam, explain what the Oneida Eagle is.
So the Oneida Eagle, right before they would do this, you know how it is, the promo or the videos and shit they play before the game starts are like the same every week.
Right.
So we knew this was coming every time, but like literally right before kickoff, and this is back when we used to be in the northwest corner for the entire first quarter. So we do get done. Players come out on the field for player intros, and we'd be down there, and we'd be making our way over, and we'd be stacking drums right before kickoff. And then there was like, I don't know, Oneida, the casino like sponsored. I don't know what it was, but it was just like, hey, we're sponsoring something right here, right now, and then they'd have an eagle caw. Big eagle caw, and the eagle would swoop down and fly like on the video, not like an actual eagle. But the eagle's screech was so goddamn loud and so ear-piercing. It was insane.
Yo, that's funny.
It was like, it would, for whatever reason, like they had like the mix, like had that like the gain turned all the way up on whatever frequency that was.
Master gain 1000.
Yeah.
It was way too loud. It was like a hazard almost.
Jesus.
Yeah,
with all the people in there too.
Yeah, it cut through everything. It was like a sharp screech. And it was everybody would plug their ears because it was like it was so bad. Like it hurt to listen to. And so, yeah, I don't know. They did it for a while. I don't know if it was just one season.
Years. It was at least 2 seasons.
Okay, yeah. It went on for way too long, though.
Oh, they also got to bring back, anytime they're playing a song between plays, they got to bring back every song they got to somehow shoe peg Go Pack Go into every single song.
Yeah, this is something that you for sure wasn't around when you were in Jahi. Yeah, they used to do this. It was a long time ago now, I think. But yeah, they used to play their 2000s rock songs, and they'd play them. But yeah, in like a weird, obscure part of the song, like they'd have a guitar riff and then just go pack go like
What?
in the middle of the song. And it was really weird because it wasn't like a generic song or like a some copyright free like guitar riff. It was like an actual song. I remember one time they had like Disturbed, like
Yeah,
Down with the Sickness.
That's the only one I distinctly remember is Down with the Sickness. I know there were more, and I just can't remember what they were, but yeah, the go pack go.
Yeah.
In there.
It sounds like they had like a dog picking the music cues.
It was
They had local 50-year-old guys that live in town picking the music.
Jesus.
Yeah.
They're playing the music of the people. I'll give them that.
Gotta give
This
them
is what the
they
people want. Yeah, you missed this, Sam. We were going. Really, Jahi was going in on the places that you've lived at, Hobart and Mirabel.
Yeah, there was a very long
What about Denmark? That's where I live now.
Denmark.
Yeah, Sam lives in Denmark.
Denmark, Wisconsin.
Wisconsin has some of the most lame city names. Maribel, man. Maribel was the name of an extra in Holes when they would go back in time to the Kissing Kate Barlow storyline. That was one of her students.
That's so weird that you mentioned that because I was literally just watching clips of Holes when I was sitting at work the other day. For some reason, it was like it came up in my suggested videos, and it was like, oh man, haven't seen this movie in a while.
Dude, that was the movie every single time we had indoor recess because it was snowing or too cold out in elementary school. They'd just throw us in the theater and just throw on a movie. So we'd watch like 45 minutes of something. And it was like 9 times out of 10 it was Holes.
Such a good movie. Dude, when it got on Disney Plus, I was so hyped.
D-I-G. What does that spell? Hits a man in the face with a shovel.
Bam!
Dang!
Dig!
Yeah.
And then runs off into the goddamn desert with no water. That always bothered me. I was like, that wasn't the greatest move, Zero, but you know.
No. The duck may swim on the lake, but
My daddy
owns the lake. That's the best line of the movie.
But my daddy owns the lake. Fucking hilarious.
Sam uses that line from time to time.
Dude,
that is an all-time line.
All-time classic.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
Old ass Mirabel.
Old ass
man.
Mirabel.
Man, Jahi, I think this would be right up your alley. I don't remember what the context. Oh, I think it was when I watched that the new Fearless Flyers track, the video for that one. I was just like, man, them boys are really mixing the medicine.
Mixing the medicine.
Jahi, I think you would like this. I'm gonna find this clip from Danger 5.
Speaking of medicine, we Connor
5
and I
jazz.
decided that Mirabel and Hobart would drink elixirs to remedy any ailments.
Yeah.
That's some dysentery ass names, man.
They would give you cocaine because you had ghosts in your blood.
That's some Oregon Trail names.
Hey, so you know, there's the village of De Pere up in the Green Bay area here.
Yeah, De Pere.
You know how it got its name? Why it's named De Pere?
No.
Well, I'll tell you. So it's right on the Fox River there, and so back in the day, when when the French fur traders were first exploring the area, they were in their canoes on the river, and they got to what is now present day De Pere, and one guy turns to the other one and says, "Oh man, how deep do you think the water is here?" And he says, "I don't know. It's just pretty deep here."
Wow. Wow. That's creative, you know? That's De Pere. I thought you were gonna shoe in my daddy owns De Pere.
No.
The duck may swim on De Pere.
The duck may swim on the pier.
But my daddy owns the pier. The
Uh,
Jazz Simians, bro. This is like a fever dream of Planet of the Apes.
this is only a small taste of what this goddamn show is.
This show is, yeah. I think Sam found this show when we were in college, and I mean, this is, yeah, definitely a top 5, top tier elite show.
Fever dream
What
is the
is
correct word.
that? Was paradigm shift. Dude, this is hilarious. He said fucking ABA structure. Where did you even find this?
Some guy I worked with when I was a truck driver for like a summer for the student union in Madison. I don't know, some guy there watched it and showed me a clip of it, and I thought, I was like, oh, that's probably worth checking out, and I'm glad I did.
Who? These masks are throwing me off a little bit. The lips don't even move. It's hilarious.
Yeah, the very lo-fi, like super campy, terrible set pieces are it's part of the charm.
This is some cult classic stuff, man. This is dope.
Did you get to the bongos and the congas?
Yes, this man is going in, and it's not even lining up at all.
It's part of the charm.
That's like the best part of any movie, where it's like, dude, that's not the same, man. Like you see like a drum set player in the background. I was like, the 2 and 4 are lining up, sir. They're not lining up.
What kind of backbeat is that you playing?
His hands just caught fire. You guys have to do a visual of that as a tenor line somewhere in Lombardy. Of these hands on fire.
I watched a really weird movie the other day with my roommate called The Talented Mr. Ripley with Matt Damon, and this goes along with like the people lining up stuff in music. They had a jazz band in a scene in that movie, and I don't know about everything else in like the ensemble, but the drums for one like actually lined up, like everything was like for real. Or I mean, I don't, obviously they recorded and like did something with the sound, but like I think they had like an actual musician like playing behind the kit.
Yeah,
and I remember it's like, wow, like this is crazy, because like this kind of like level of like editing and like sound like certainly wasn't in movies like Whiplash, like where they taught this kid to play the fucking drums and he was like fine, it lined up at points for sure. And like he's certainly like they definitely taught him how to play the drums, but like this movie is entirely about like prestigious like jazz school, and like you couldn't just like get a fucking dude to like who played the drums. Yeah, or like do something like edit it, like we like the year is 2020, obviously not then, but like we have the technology to, like do that shit.
Nope, you gotta get some actor. You gotta get Miles Teller.
Yeah, right.
The worst Mr. Fantastic to ever exist. Old ass Miles Teller in a middle school science fair doing teleportation. Did no one think that was weird on the editing bay? Maybe we should put some older kids in the science fair and make it look not creepy. Nah, hell no. Put him and that goddamn dude from Jumper. So, that's a player 2 ass actor, man. That's a player. He's a career player 2 actor. Good for him. Make your money, bro.
That dude from Jumper. Jesus Christ.
Do you know his name? Exactly. That's a Luigi actor, bro.
It's a Luigi actor.
You are not Mario. Oh yeah, Sam. We also talked about how I can't go back in time because I'll just make fun of everybody and get killed.
Oh.
Yeah, he's going in on the fact he's like, there's no way I'd be able to like take any of these people with the way that they dress or the way that they act.
Oh
None
yeah, you're
of
not going
it.
back to the '90s and
Even
can't go
farther
back then
back,
and
the 50s, man, the 40s. Like, oh, you guys are talking on a radio? What's wrong with you? A radio broadcast, bro. I got ads on YouTube. We are not the same.
Your Morse code having ass.
What are you, R2D2? What is this? Just
you
get
actually put ice in your fridge to keep it cold. What do you
what?
want?
What is this, bro? I got a machine. You just gotta lie to him. There's a little man that lives in my fridge that throws ice down the chute whenever I hit a button.
Just a little man that lives in my fridge.
They believe that kind of stuff too, man. Back in the day.
Yeah, man, that's where I mean that's where shit like Krampus comes from.
Fucking Krampus.
I thought you were just gonna go broader and just say that's where organized religion came from.
Suppose that's
bars.
Speaking truths on definitely the experts.
Question everything, facts and logic.
Reason and logic.
Like the moon.
Exactly. Well, in any case, well, I think we might have reached the end of the line here. I think that's certainly the subject material that we want to cover today.
So just to put a bow on it, Jahi, do you have a timeline for finishing and putting the documentary out into the world? Zymox.
It depends. I would say
right.
like 3 months minimum.
Oh.
3 months max.
Well, now is that a Zymox 3 months or is that a?
Full circle. Circle,
with
man.
no respect for authority.
I'd say about 2 to 10 weeks on that.
There we go.
No, but for sure, a real life, actual functioning. This is an Under Armour 3 months, not a Zymox 3 months on
All right.
shipped out.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, we'll look forward to that. We'll put that shit out into the. Can't wait to see that shit out in the ether and watch this train wreck that you've curated of customer service.
It's exciting and I'm a little nervous about it, but it'll be my first documentary. So
hell yeah.
Well, we'll back you. You got us. You got definitely the experts behind you.
thanks,
Co-signing.
It means a lot to just have that backing from you.
Big media personality like us.
Yeah, what production company you working with for marketing?
I'm working with NFM Incorporated, stands for no fucking money. So we're
Hell
doing
yeah.
this for
Well, you
free.
can we're in the same boat. Slap our well, I don't know, whatever, our logo on that too if you want or don't.
Or don't. But yeah, so 5 months. Hopefully, I'm almost
5
done
months.
with this. Jesus Christ, 3 months. I was looking that it's May, and it says 5 on my thing. But yeah, script's almost done. Like as soon as that's done, it's like I'm rolling. But I just want to have as much factual information as I can, so I don't like get sued for slander.
Well, as long as it's true, it's not slander.
Exactly.
Libel.
Thanks, Mr. Lawyer.
Yeah, dude, I got you. Incoming law student here. We'll save ya.
I'll just filibuster until you're like a lawyer.
You'll filibuster.
Yeah, filibuster for what, 3 years?
That's long
2
enough.
years?
That's I got time.
Okay. Well, and well, I guess we didn't really. So you don't think Aaron Rodgers is elite?
I do. I
You
do.
do.
I do also think his time is ticking.
Cool. Well, great. I think we're all in agreement then. Fantastic. Uh, well, thanks for coming on, Jahi. And sitting through the technical difficulties that we had. We might split this up into 2 episodes. So, uh, you know, congratulations for being the part of a first 2-parter.
Yeah, making history. That's all we do out here.
Yeah. Uh, well, dope, man. Hopefully we get to see you soon. I don't know if we'll see you soon with coronavirus
Jesus.
and nothing on the horizon here shaping up the way that we expect it to. But hopefully sometime soon we get to see each other. But until then, hopefully just stay healthy, stay inside, don't talk to anyone.
just don't get out of bed.
Yeah, just stay home, man.
That's the plan. But thanks, guys. I really appreciate it. It was good talking to you guys again after all these months.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, same to you, man. We'll have to have you back on once the doc is out, and we can do a full deep dive into I don't know, release, review, chit chat, Q&A, DVD commentary,
Director's
whatever.
cut.
Director's cut.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about making one too.
Hell yeah. Do it all.
Hey, if you give it anything less than 7 stars, I'm whooping both y'all's asses.
Oh shit!
I know where you work.
We have integrity, Jahi, so we'll be a little bit more independent with our ratings.
Yeah, we're a couple of as media members here. We owe it to our audience to give them, much like to use your line. It's all about the truth.
Wow. That's what we're doing, Sam? Unbelievable.
Put that down. Put that quote in.
Yeah, write that down and put that in your pocket.
Write that down.
Oh, man.
Okay, all right, man. Yeah, we'll wrap it up here. Thanks again for coming on. Like, share, subscribe to this episode. Get Jahi back on the podcast.
Thanks, guys. See you next time.
Yep. Stay healthy. Stay safe. Bye.
Bye.